Europe pursued that mission to liberate the Holy Land and bring the Jews back. Europe was Christian, then Europe was Jewish, then Europe was secular and godless. The answer is, this is the civilization of God and European civilization. When Gog and Magog were released, they would descend from every height and take control of the world. Europe did precisely that, took control of the world. But maybe one day we get a chance to do a lecture on this subject of Gog and Magog. Now then, it is when that child emerges in a day which is like our day. It is then that the fireworks really begin. Because there is oppression in the Holy Land. Oppression. And the prophet speaks and he says, this is after the Jews have lived amongst us for 1300 years. When nobody else could take them, we took them. We gave them freedom, we protected them for 1300 years. Then the prophet said, and I wish you would understand my predicament. Here is a hadith which is Sahih Bukhari. It is also Sahih Muslim. It is muttafaqun alayh. It is the strongest possible hadith. What should I do if some person objects to my quoting this hadith? What should I do? Am I to follow them? Or am I to preach the Islam which came from Allah and His Messenger? What am I to do? I gave up my job as a diplomat to do this work of preaching Islam. And now you want to come and tell me which verse of the Quran I can quote and which one I cannot? Which hadith I can quote and which one I cannot? If I submit to those restrictions, I should open my shop and start selling roti tonight. Because that's the betrayal of Islam. Before I quote the hadith, I want to tell you something. He said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, يُوشِكُ وَيَأْتِي عَلَى النَّاسِ زَمَانٍ. It will not be long before that time comes. لَا يَبْقَى مِنَ الْإِسْلَامِ إِلَّا اسْمٌ. When nothing will remain of Islam except the name. Open your eyes, I'm begging you, open your eyes. When nothing will remain of Islam except the name. وَلَا يَبْقَى مِنَ الْقُرْآنِ إِلَّا رَسْمٌ. And when nothing will remain of the Quran except the words which are mechanically recited beautifully, mashallah, mashallah, is only under the throat. Now listen to the rest. When that time comes, مَسَاجِدُهُمْ عَامِرَةٌ وَهِيَ خَرَابٌ مِنَ الْهُدَى. The houses of Allah, the masajid will be grand structures, iron and steel, multi-million-dollar buildings, but totally devoid of guidance. When that time comes, you will eventually see a woman Cornelia. You will eventually see a woman on the minbar, giving the khutbah. And already they're making progress towards that day. Well, they'll give the khutbah on the minbar. If you have eyes, open them. مَسَاجِدُهُمْ عَامِرَةٌ وَهِيَ خَرَابٌ مِنَ الْهُدَى. The masajid will be grand structures, but totally devoid of guidance. وَلَنَأُهُمْ شَرُّ النَّاسِ مِمَّنْ تَحْتَ عَلَيْهِ السَّلَامِ. And the scholars of Islam at that time would be the worst people in the sky. من علمهم يخرجون فتنة بهم يعود. They will be corrupt. My opinion, this is it. This is it. This is it. Now let's come to the hadith. That some people object. I quote this hadith in New York at the State University of New York in Stony Brook with the Jew sitting there in front of me. I quote this hadith. You will tell me I can't quote it. The Jews are sitting in front of me and I quote the hadith. لَتُقَاتِلُنَّ الْيَهُودَ, said Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, you will surely fight the Jews. وَلَتَقْتُلُنَّهُمْ, and you will surely kill them, meaning you will defeat them, you will be victorious. حَتَّى يَقُولُ الْحَجَرُ. At that time, even the stones will speak. Ya Muslim, هَذَا يَهُودِيٌّ وَرَائِي. There's a Jew hiding behind me. فَتَعَالَى فَقْتُلْ. So come and kill him. If anyone has difficulty with that hadith, you're not following Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. You're following some Tom, Dick or Harry. You're not a follower of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. But this audience here tonight has no problem with that hadith. The stones are already speaking. The stones are already speaking in the Holy Land. The intifada is an intifada of stones. How come we can't hear? Because we're not going to hear what he says. Do we have any other heirs besides his heirs? Yes. The heart can see. The heart can hear. When the stones begin to speak, the countdown has begun. At the end of this, Imam al-Mahdi will emerge. This is our topic for tomorrow night. So we just quickly touch upon it. Imam al-Mahdi will return. Imam al-Mahdi is not an Indonesian. No, he's an Arab. He comes from the seed of the Prophet. How could he get Indonesian? His name will be my name, said the Prophet. His father's name will be my father's name. He'll have a broad forehead and a large nose, and he'll be known as Al-Mahdi. He comes out of Medina, he hurries to Mecca. And then he accepts the bay'ah from the people at Mecca, the Kaaba. He's a very well-known person there, very well-known. It is at that time, when he pronounces himself to be Al-Mahdi, it is then we know whether our Shia brothers are with us or not. Will they accept an Imam al-Mahdi who is not a Shia? Will they? If they do at that time, then they are brothers. They can't come as well. But if they reject it, then they lost. It is when Imam al-Mahdi emerges, and he defeats an army of the Arabs. And only governments control armies. And then Jaziratul Arab is liberated. So the Islamic revolution comes to Arabia. It is when the Islamic revolution comes to Arabia, that is the most dangerous of all things to affect the state of Israel. An Islamic revolution in Arabia. This is what Imam Mahdi brings. And so Arabia is liberated, and Darul Islam is restored, and the Khilafah is restored. This is a subject we must study. The Khilafah. What is the place of the Khilafah in Islam? Who destroyed the Khilafah? How did they destroy it? Why did they destroy it? What was it which replaced the Khilafah? How did the world of Islam respond to the destruction of the Khilafah? And what is the destiny of the Khilafah? I quickly open this up. Small. The Caliphate, the Hijaz, and the Saudi Wahhabi nation state. We have some copies of the Khilafah, but not many. When the Khilafah is restored, guess what happens to the secular state? Garbage state. Garbage state. The Khilafah is restored. It is then that Dajjal now wants to attack the Imam. And he attacks from the east. How will he attack? Is he going to use tanks? The Prophet said that Dajjal will ride on a donkey. Donkey will travel as fast as them, as a cloud. Donkey will have his head stretched out. Why? I came on that donkey from New York. we're talking about the use of fighter aircraft. Fighter aircraft from the east. East of Medina is Dahran, where the Saudi Air Force is, with the US Air Force there. Okay? The Dal will attack from the east. Makkah and Medina will be defended by the angels, and Sahih Muslim declares that the angels will divert the Dal to Damascus. And so you're talking about an Israeli military invasion of Syria, which is coming. How long will this be? When the Sea of Galilee is dry, at that time these things will happen. How long will it take before the Sea of Galilee dries? I am monitoring the water level in the Sea of Galilee every day on the internet. Every day. I do it. The water in the Sea of Galilee today is lower than it has ever been in history. Not only did the Dajjal say, I don't think it will last so long, the water, but about Gog and Magog, hadith of Sahih Muslim, when Gog and Magog are released, the first of them will pass by the Sea of Galilee and start to drink the water, and by the time the last of them pass, they will say, there used to be water here, Sahih Muslim. And so it is when the water dries up in the Sea of Galilee that these events will take place. At that time, life will be so difficult for the Muslims. A man will pass by a grave and say, I wish I were in the grave. Why? Because no water. Palestinians have no water to drink. Jordan has no water. The Sea of Galilee was the source of water. The state of Israel has declared that sometime this summer, they expect the water level to reach so low that the Sea of Galilee can never be restored. It doesn't have to dry up before the water becomes unfit. The water will be unfit for consumption soon. Maybe next year, this year. But you can't use that water anymore. Where will you get water from? Israel now uses a sophisticated technology to build desalination plants. But if you want our water, you won't pay for it. They don't have any money to pay because riba has whipped them dry. Because Yasser Arafat doesn't understand this subject. In order to get water to drink, the state of Israel will say, you've got to bow and submit to us. The Prophet said, the Dajjal will force you to bow and submit to him rather than to Allah. Therefore worship him. This is coming. If you want water, you will have to bow and submit to us. Then you can get water. My estimate, you don't have to accept my estimate. You could go and check it out yourself. How long will it take for the Sea of Galilee to dry up? My estimate, certainly not 100 years. Closer to 50 years is my estimate. Tell me something. Am I saying that the world is going to come to an end in 50 years? Well, how could they come to that conclusion? I'm not saying that the world is going to come to an end in 50 years. I'm saying that the Sea of Galilee will dry up. And when the Sea of Galilee dries up, then that is the time of Imam al-Mahdi to emerge. That's the time for Isa al-Islam to come back. But after that, we don't know how long it will be. Only Allah knows how long it will be. Alright? Now the Dajjal attacks. And Imam al-Mahdi is in the masjid in Damascus. The Dajjal is outside. And at that time the son of Mary comes down with his hands resting on the wings of two angels. And he comes down in the masjid. Then the Imam will say what John the Baptist said many years before. The Imam will say, here he is, this is the son of Mary. Positive identification. This is the son of Mary. Then Isa al-Islam will come out of the masjid and pursue Dajjal and kill Dajjal. Where? Lud. Lud is the headquarters of the Israeli Air Force. Air Force. Dajjal is killed, then Allah will destroy Gog and Magog. Maybe next time I come, we lecture on Gog and Magog. After that, said the Prophet ﷺ, he said, when you see the black flags coming from Khurasan, go and join that army. Because Allah's Khalifa Imam al-Mahdi is in that army. And no one will be able to stop that army until it reaches Jerusalem. Khurasan is that territory that is Khurasan at the time of the Prophet, which today is known as Afghanistan and the territories around Afghanistan. The British could not colonize it. The Russians could not colonize it. And so we say to the United States of America, Uncle Sam, don't bother to try. Don't bother to try. It is from that territory that the Muslim army will come and will destroy the state of Israel. The Holy Land will be liberated, number one. The true followers of Ibrahim alayhi salam will now inherit the Holy Land, number two. The state of Israel of Sulaiman alayhi salam will now be restored. Number three. And it will be the ruling state in the world. Islam will rule the world. Number four. And then the Messiah will rule the world from Jerusalem. Exactly as was prophesied will come to pass. Isa alayhi salam will rule the world from Jerusalem. Imam Mahdi will live for only 7 years and then die. But Isa alayhi salam will live for 40 years. He's going to get married. The Pope doesn't know about that. I hope it will be a Palestinian girl. He's going to have children. He's going to die. And then said the Prophet ﷺ, he will be buried next to me in Medina. After that, we don't know Allah. We don't know Allah. Only Allah knows how long it will be until the last day. This has been an Islamic view of the return of Isa alayhi salam. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless all those who now go to the Quran and go to Muhammad alayhi salam, that they may explain to you this strange event of the return of the Jews to the Holy Land and the restoration of the state of Israel. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. آمين. Mr. Chairman, I took 3 minutes more. Good night,